How's it going, guys? So today we're going to do a bit of an update on the little Pygmy Python, and I'm going to tell you all about how things have changed since we put her in this big naturalistic enclosure. So this is Pig. She's my Pygmy Python, Antaresia perthensis, and this is her awesome naturalistic enclosure that I made myself. I did all this mock rock work and everything like that, so make sure you go back and check out that video if you haven't yet. But she's been in here for a few months now, and a lot of changes has happened in her behavior, her physicality, and pretty much everything. So even right now you can see she's out basking, getting a bit of heat. If we look up the top here, there's her heat lamp right there, which produces warmth in this whole general area here. She's also more towards the back, which is right under the UV lamp, which is just on the top here. So she's getting UVB and heat, and also some visible light. We have the light bar on the front here. So she actually comes out and physically basks. Now there is some positives and negatives in keeping a snake like this in a naturalistic enclosure. The positives are, of course, she has so much room to move around and do her thing. You can see her out basking and being visible. It makes it for a really good display. But the downsides are it is a little bit harder to clean than something like a tub or anything like that. And that's about it, really. So the only other downside I could think of, it does make it a bit harder to pull her out if I ever need to or want to, especially when she's in that crevice right there. But I don't mind that at all. It makes her feel nice and secure and safe. But if I was to try and, pull her out a bit, she usually sort of grips right to the top of it and the bottom of it and wedges herself in there. There's a little face coming around now. So she sort of gets stuck in there, and you don't want to hurt her by pulling her out. So you just have to wait for the right time. But yeah, that's perfect for her because it means she's going to feel nice and secure, and that's part of the reason why she comes out and basks like this, because she knows she can escape and be nice and safe really quickly. So here she is, the beautiful Pygmy Python. These are, I reckon, are underrated species here in Australia. A lot of people have stimmos or spotted pythons or children's pythons, but these, they stay even smaller. This is just about full grown, and they're just such a beautiful little snake. So a few different changes I've noticed since I put her in here. Before she went in there, she's pretty much lived in a tub her whole life as far as I know. And obviously living in a tub, you don't have a lot of vertical space to climb, anything like that. So I guess muscle tone isn't developed as well. So once I put her in here, it was only about 3 weeks to a month after I picked her up again, and she felt completely different. She felt solid, strong, and when she holds on to you now, it's really a tight grip. She has so much more strength and ability to move than she ever did before. So obviously I attribute that to the background and all these branches and things that she can climb up and down. Obviously having that basking spot up high means she has to climb up in order to get more and more heat. And so it's really strengthened her muscles and made her feel just like a little wild snake. Also, along with that, like I said, she comes out and basks under the UVB. People often say snakes won't use UV, they don't like bright light, everything like that, but clearly she comes out and uses it because it's beneficial. So obviously it's not 100% needed in order to keep them alive and reasonably healthy, but it's definitely a benefit to the animal, and it's something they get in nature. So I love to provide it, and it makes the enclosure nice and bright and beautiful. So she's been doing amazing in there. She's also grown a little bit. I haven't measured her since I put her in, but she's definitely gotten a bit bigger, and yeah, I'd say she's just about at adult size now. So really loving her progress in here so far, and at night time is when she really comes out and hunts and is really exciting. So along with all the new improvements for this girl, I also provide enrichment as well. So I change around the plants a lot as well, lots of new scents and smells in that regard. And then also too, I've been doing scenting with rodents and other things too. So she comes out through the night, explores the whole enclosure, trying to hunt down food, basically mimicking those natural behaviors, and where she'll go out each night, follow scent trails and find her food. And then when the food is actually presented to her, she does not hold back at all. She is a great hunter. She goes from the trees, from the rocks, from everywhere. She smashes it. She even ambushed me once from underneath her hides down the bottom there. I wasn't sure where she was, so I was just running a rat along the bottom, and then whack, she grabbed it and pulled it right back under like a little little death worm under there. So she's good at what she does, and yeah, I think she's really enjoying this setup, which, you know, I can't be any more stoked with. I'm so glad I got this little snake. She's a great little pet, and that's probably all it's going to stay for this point in time. I don't think I'll go into breeding these things, just because their babies, I've heard, can be quite notoriously hard to start feeding just because they come out so small. So I encourage you all, if you have one snake or two snakes or only a few snakes, get them in some nice big naturalistic enclosures and watch them do their thing. Watch them be snakes and do everything they're supposed to do. You'll get that much more enjoyment out of them, and they'll love you for it as well. So let's pop her back and come back later tonight and see how she likes to have a feed. Here you go, girl. Now, I often get asked how to clean this rock work if the snake defecates on it. Is it hard to clean? Not at all. So I simply use some F10, spray that down, let it sit for a while, scrub it off with some sort of scrubbing brush, and then I usually water it all down after that. Then you can pat dry it or change the substrate, whatever you need to do, and it's nice and clean and fresh again. So worth it to put this snake in this habitat. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.